Over this weekend, Bitcoin remained really boring, but don't be deceived by the current price action because there is a major move brewing right now on the chart, and I will show you exactly where we can find that, how we're gonna position ourselves, and so much more jam-packed data that I'm gonna present to you in today's episode. So definitely don't miss out on that, and let's go. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here on this Sunday. Today, quite early, because I have again other meetings and arrangements that I have to take care of. That's why I come out way earlier than usual. We jump directly into the charts here. On the DXY, there is not much to say. I'm gonna jump directly into the next one. Let's talk about the CME chart. The Bitcoin CME chart here has closed on Friday afternoon at $108,125. And now we are still trading around the same price. And I think that was the whole point of this weekend's price action. Push price sideways, let indicators cool down, push price up tomorrow. Because when we go here into the lower time frames in a moment, first of all here on the weekly chart, nothing has really changed here. With our stochastic RSI printing a buy signal by tonight, as long as the candle stays as it is. It would be, of course, a little bit more bullish if we could come up here another $500-600 to turn the candle green. But I also take a red one because most likely the next one will push here into a new all-time high in the upcoming week. Now, when we're going into the shorter time frames, here you see now what I mean. So this is the weekend's price action. Just bouncing between a short range, a really small range actually here, support and resistance, and so small. That is a $400 range. That is 0.2% moves in that range here. So from $107,900 to $108,273. So it's actually, it's almost a $400 range. So you can scalp here in between with a tremendous amount of leverage if you want to do that, and just trade here between support and resistance until we break one of these levels. So what you would do is, if you would go, let's say you would trade this here from the bottom, your stop loss would be here below that candle, just in case that we turn bearish here and would go lower, then you're out here and don't take a huge loss. When you short to the downside, you do the same thing. You would have a stop loss above that high here and trade it to the bottom, take there your profit, and you rinse and repeat that whole process, so you can do that without any issues. So I personally don't like that, but if you're a scalper, this is a dream for you, so it's a really tight range and you can trade here multiple times per day. So alone yesterday, you could have done that here once. Okay, you would have done it at least once, up and down. And over Saturday, actually here also Saturday, 1, 2, 3 trades within 24 hours. If I count that one here, 4 trades. So you could have made 4 trades here within 24 hours. You could have made some good money, in that tight range. I don't like personally these tight ranges, but if you're a scalper, not that bad. What I like more is a setup like this here on a 50 minutes chart, because there is a resistance level that we need to watch here currently to get more upside in the Bitcoin price action here again, and that is $108,273, the level that I just spoke about. That needs to be broken. That would be my entry here for a potential trade setup all the way up to $110,942 approximately. The indicators are definitely favoring that scenario right now, because the stochastic is printing a buy signal, MACD losing momentum on the sell side, RSI also going here to the upside again, potentially forming a bullish divergence at some point. But we need to break that level, and I honestly don't see this getting broken before tomorrow, when people go back to work, sitting at their trading desks and start trading. Everybody had now, in the US especially, a prolonged weekend because of the 4th of July. And it is really, it was a long time that I actually saw price getting pushed in that manner over the weekend. Honestly, I cannot remember when I saw it the last time. It's really a long time ago when I saw this the last time happening. And every time when we got squeezed into such tight range and Bitcoin behaved more or less like a stable coin, we got then, as soon as the market opened, after a weekend like this, we got a crazy move, either to the upside or to the downside. But like I said, because we had here an initial upwards move where the indicators were running hot, in this sideways stablecoin chop, the indicators came all down, cooled down. So that means usually we're going to get then a continuation move here to the upside, also higher than that high that we had here at $110,500. If you want to take that trade here with me together, guys, then sign up on BloFin. You get $5,000 in sign-up bonuses, $1,000 future bonus, and the more you trade, the more prices you can actually get here. For example, a Rolex watch, you can get here AirPods, a Switch, an iPhone 16, a MacBook Pro, an Apple Vision, and something else that I want to do, because now I will not give away my course anymore for free, but I want to give $500 to 5 people if you sign up on BloFin and deposit at least $100. So I'm going to pull by next Sunday 5 people for $500, but only if you sign up with the link in the pin comment below and in the description below and deposit at least $100, then you're eligible for that. And I'm going to collect all the signups and the account numbers. That's what I want to say. Account numbers that have signed up in that time. And then we raffle away that money next Sunday. So if you want to win here really, really quickly, some money just for signing up and depositing $100, then you know what to do. There's the link in the pinned comment and in the description below. On the daily chart, here nothing has really changed. Everything is going according to plan. I told you guys we're going to get a breakout above that bull flag, then we get a pullback, then we continue to go up. So what happened here? We got a breakout, we are pulling back now, then we continue to go up. Worst case, we come all the way down to the top side here of the downward sloping trend line at $107,100. Would be not the end of the world, you know, if we get a quick retest and then continue higher. Here the target remains $137,000 to $144,000. On the 4-hourly chart, here we are back in the overall trading range. I warned you about this, that this can potentially happening, and now it actually did. And here the price action is trapped between the 20 moving average and the 50 moving average. As long as we are staying in between here, we should be fine. You can see that we are basically coiling up here somewhat in a small ascending triangle or symmetrical triangle, and because we come here originally out of an upwards move, we should get continuation also here to the upside. Overall, if you're in a trade setup here where I gave you basically a sniper entry all the way down here at $105,100, just keep the trade, you know, let it run. If you want to set a stop loss in profit, set it at $107,300. Below that low here, that's where I would set it of that candle, and then you just wait and see. But honestly, I see us breaking here to the upside in the next 24 hours. That is also in alignment with the MDX Algo scalp gradient, because here we are printing now blue candles and we are just chopping around in blue candles. So there's no real dump here, which would create a complete cool off. And I see here rather a warm-up phase leading into tomorrow, and the recti indicator is also kind of showing that by just pushing sideways currently. So as long as you're pushing sideways, you should get ready and position yourself for a nice move for tomorrow. Also in liquidation levels, not so much liquidity in longs sitting below us. We have more shorts piling up again because bears never learn. The bears thinking that we are seeing here a move, let's say, all the way down to the 200 moving average here at $106,000. I don't think so that this is going to happen. This constellation here overall is not looking so promising from a bullish perspective, but I think that we're gonna get here a nice surprise. And in the worst case, like I said, $107,200, $100 is something what I can see, just with a stab, with a wick to the downside, and then straight back up into the over leveraged liquidity here on the short side, which tops here at $109,763 and above that at $111,600. And we're gonna start to short squeeze from around $108,800. The liquidation heat map is also showing confluence in that sense. Here you see here $107,000. There is some liquidity that we could take, but then everything else is above us. There is, of course, here this huge liquidity block below us, but I honestly don't think that we are going to touch that anytime soon, unless we have a news event coinciding with that, which resembles a small black swan, then I can see that. Otherwise, we are most likely not going there, especially when you go also to the monthly. So there it looks different, you know. So also here you see 107,100, and then we have a gap there already. And all the real liquidity is still stacked above us here at $111,000, as I am telling you guys for many weeks here already. Let's see here. The altcoin season index did not really move over the weekend, which is not really surprising, but by tomorrow we're gonna get here a nice push to the upside. The dominance also just chopping sideways, not doing really much. Total free market cap, more or less the same. We're just under the resistance of $836 billion. If we're not pushing through that by today, then most likely by tomorrow we are gonna get that push. For me, really important is that we are staying above that downward sloping trend line here on the upper end of that overall parallel downward sloping channel. If you want to trade altcoins, guys, then Bybit is the way to do that. You get up to $30,000 in sign-up and deposit bonuses, plus a Bybit card if you're eligible. And for everybody in Europe, I have to tell it to you guys, if you are a resident in Europe and you have a Bybit account right now on Bybit.com, or you have a European passport, then you have to move to Bybit.eu at some point. Use the same email address that you used for Bybit.com, and Bybit will match that and just transfer your account over to Bybit.eu. Really simple. And you have to do that. There is, I think it's 3 months is the grace period, and then they do it automatically for you. But it's better if you do it by yourself. It will lead to less complications in the transition. So you will have everything what you have on Bybit.com from, I think, this month onwards. Most of the things like leverage trading and everything will be available on Bybit.eu if that applies to you. But you have to move. There's no way around that. You have to move to Bybit.eu. So just use for that also the link in the pinned comment below and the description below. There is a link to go to Bybit.eu. Just transfer your account because they're gonna force you anyway to do that and rather do it by yourself. Everybody else outside the EU, just use the Bybit.com link. Nothing changes for you. Everything stays the same. Again, also there is a link in the pinned comment and the description below for that. Now, Ethereum on the 4-hourly chart is soon getting here a golden cross. Also, most likely tomorrow in my afternoon is this going to happen, and we're going to get this. And then the stochastic was back to the upside, the RSI will go to the upside, and Ethereum will be most likely be trading around $2,600 to $2,700 at that moment in time. I'm looking to take a trade on Ethereum if we get here a small step to the downside below the 50 moving average. That is where I'm looking for an entry. Best case scenario would be the mid-range at $2,430 to get an entry over there, and then trade the bounce here into the resistance of the overall trading range that we have here for Ethereum. Then Solana is sitting right now at my entry level. So here actually after I finish the video, I'm gonna open here a trade on Solana. Play it really safe. You would wait for a break of this downward sloping trend line, because once that is a short-term resistance, once that trend line is broken, Solana will start moving here into our target of $164, which is a 12% move. So, but yeah, I'm gonna take a trade from the entry here overall. We are retesting right now a former resistance level, which is now support. As long as that support is holding, we're gonna bounce from here back to higher levels. The SUI chart here, really simple for me right now. Most of you know that I'm in a SUI trade already. This downward sloping trend line is the line to watch, and also this horizontal line. Once $2.96 is broken and we start forming support above here, that is where you want to take that trade all the way up here to $3.45. So that's what I'm looking at currently. Also here, the stochastic is about to print a buy signal. The MACD is losing momentum on the sell side. So also here, anytime soon, we should get a nice push into higher levels. Then Link, same thing. Downward sloping trend line is the line that I'm looking at. Sitting here at support at $13.17. Here the stochastic is already looking tremendously bullish. The MACD does the same thing. Only the RSI is going down because we are below that downward sloping resistance line. But once we get a push above that, we're gonna get a proper move also here past $14. And that's already everything for today's episode, guys. Might have been a couple boring days here over the weekend, but trust me, everything is going to change here by tomorrow. And therefore, don't forget, smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you with a bigger portfolio tomorrow.